This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Monday, the 22nd day of September in the year 2025. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. The Guyana government has announced the approval of the 7th petroleum production license for the development of the Hammerhead oil field in the Stabroek Block offshore Guyana. In a statement today, the Ministry of Natural Resources explained that the government has given its green light of the Hammerhead Field Development Plan and the issuance of the Hammerhead Petroleum Production License. The Hammerhead development is the 7th offshore development within Guyana's Stabroek Block, which is operated by ExxonMobil Guyana Limited in conjunction with its co-venturers, Hess Corporation and Sinuk. The development is located in the southwestern portion of the Stabroek Block offshore Guyana and targets the Hammerhead Reservoir, which was discovered back in 2018. The government said that the Hammerhead license features notable improvements when compared to the previous license in several areas. Some of those improvements include its alignment with the Oil Pollution Prevention, Preparedness, Response and Responsibility Act of 2025, improved management of production levels, and new conditions to cover off-specification fluid discharges and the transfer of associated gas from the Hammerhead development to the GTE pipeline. Those enhancements, according to the ministry, reflect the government's ongoing commitment to responsible resource management and sustainable development. The Ministry of Natural Resources said the $6.8 billion project will be produced through a very large crude carrier conversion type floating production storage and offloading vessel, which will be built by MODEC, a Japanese FPSO building and operating company. Production will be facilitated through 10 production wells and 8 injection wells. A total of 445 million barrels of oil is forecast to be produced, with an estimated daily production capacity of 150,000 barrels of oil per day. First oil from the project is anticipated by 2029 and is expected to boost Guyana's overall production capacity at approximately 1.5 million barrels of oil per day. Additionally, it was explained that the associated gas produced from the Hammerhead project reservoir will be transferred to the gas-to-energy pipeline network. The Hammerhead project, the ministry said, is expected to boost energy security, drive industrial growth, and create employment across various sectors as it joins a growing portfolio of developments which continue to position Guyana as a key player in the global energy landscape. In a separate statement, the ExxonMobil company said the Hammerhead development will utilize a floating production storage and offloading vessel with a capacity to produce approximately 150,000 barrels of oil per day. The Hammerhead project will include 18 production and injection wells, Exxon said. The company also said it continues to set a new standard in Guyana, advancing an impressive 7th project just 10 years after first discovery. The president of ExxonMobil upstream company, Dan Ammann, said in collaboration with the people and government of Guyana, the company helped build a thriving new oil and gas industry in the country that is creating jobs, supplier opportunities, profits, and follow-on investments. According to the company, the latest decision increases funds committed for several approved projects to more than $60 billion. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
We're celebrating the World Maritime Day 2025 in a big way, exhibition style. An amazing sea of opportunities awaits you in the maritime sector. Come on down to the Providence National Stadium on Thursday, September 25th, 2025 and meet the movers and shakers in the maritime industry. Learn about ships, port operations, career and maritime training and opportunities, and interact with maritime professionals and industry leaders. This is for one day only, from 9 hours to 16 hours. Witness an amazing array of boats, maritime equipment, and more on vessels on display. Join us for the World Maritime Day exhibition, hosted by the Maritime Administration Department, Ministry of Public Utilities and Aviation. It's our ocean, our obligation, our opportunity. See you there, open to everyone.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Quartz presents the Home Event 2025, happening now at Quartz stores nationwide. It's the perfect time to refresh your home. Come explore new arrivals, best sellers, and deals you can't resist. Discover the widest range of stylish furniture, cutting-edge TVs, audio systems, and appliances that are smart and energy efficient, all backed by the Quartz low price guarantee. Our experts will help you choose what you need for your home. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and get more. Don't miss the Quartz Home Event 2025. Quartz, bringing value home.
Get ready, Guyana! It's CPL! It's carnival time! It's time for the biggest party of the year! On Saturday, September 27th, Kingston Beach comes alive with nothing but pure vibes as the Republic Bank, Pan, Brass, and Soca. A night of rhythm, energy, and pure vibes.
They should know!
Look out for Mixmaster Tony, Selecta Andre, Kun Jazz Steel Ensemble, Guyana Police Force Steel Orchestra, OKC, Omaya Hall, Carlvin Burnett, A.W. Lyrical, The Troy, The Pianist, Heatwave Band, Johan Chukuri, Adam Hagley, and the Insomniacs Band. And straight out of Trinidad and Tobago, the one and only Young Bretta. Pan, Brass, and Soca is supported by Republic Bank Limited, Ministry of Culture, Youth, and Sport, Star Party Rentals, Discover Guyana, New GPC, DS Ramsey Hall & Sons Jewelry, German's Restaurant, and Beacon Cafe. Ticket prices of $5,000. VIP access is $20,000. Tickets available at the National Cultural Center box office. Don't forget, Pan, Brass, and Soca, September 27th at Kingston Beach.
Welcome back. Let's tell you now that a number of employees from mainly the Accounts Department of the Guyana Elections Commission are being questioned by the police over $5 million belonging to the commission that has been discovered missing. In a brief statement, Crime Chief Deputy Commissioner of Police Wendell Blanham confirmed the investigation to News Source today. Mr. Blanham said the employees are assisting the police in relation to a report of simple larceny involving the sum of approximately $5 million, which he said is the property of the Elections Commission. He would offer no other comment. Officials at the Guyana Elections Commission are tight-lipped on the missing money. But one senior official has confirmed that a full internal investigation is also being conducted. The official said upon completion of that investigation, the Elections Commission is likely to issue a statement. News Source understands that the probe was launched after several discrepancies were uncovered with a large sum of money that had moved through the Commission's accounts department. The investigations were launched over the weekend, with the police being immediately contacted. CID officers visited GECOM offices and questioned several staffers before inviting them and others to the CID headquarters for further questioning. The discovery of the alleged missing money is coming at a time when the Elections Commission has started to pay temporary workers who were employed for the recent elections. Some workers were paid last week, and several others are expecting their payments this week. Hundreds of temporary workers were employed by the Guyana Elections Commission during the recent elections to perform Election Day and pre- and post-election day duties. The Guyana Human Rights Association today called for retired Chief Justice Carl Singh and other members of the Constitutional Reform Commission to resign. The commission was appointed by President Irfan Ali last year. In a statement today, the GHRA said both the chairman and commissioners should resign as a matter of principle as a result of the new political dispensation in the country. Already former leader of the Alliance for Change, Nigel Hughes, has tendered his resignation as he was a representative of the APNU-AFC. Though established more than a year ago, the Constitutional Reform Commission has made little progress. The chairman of the commission was quoted in the Sunday Stabroek newspapers as providing a number of issues that may have been responsible for the commission's sloth in getting work done, ranging from the need for furniture for the commission's office to the border issues with Venezuela. The Human Rights Association has taken umbrage, it said, to the chairman's statement and has indicated that while non-performance in itself is sufficient to conclude that the life of the commission ought to be closed down, a more cogent reason for reaching the same conclusion is the fact that the commission, from its inception, was not seen as part of organically evolving law in Guyana. The human rights body explained that towards the end of the constitutional reform program, 1999 to 2000, the then commission made a case for continuous review and reform. Citing Article 1191A of the Constitution, the Human Rights Association said the Constitutional Amendment Bill No. 6 of 2001 laid the foundation for the establishment of a parliamentary standing committee for future constitutional reform processes, as envisioned by the Constitutional Reform Commission. Article 119A1 states that the National Assembly shall establish a standing parliamentary committee for constitutional reform for the purpose of continually reviewing the effectiveness of the working of the Constitution and making periodic reports thereon to the Assembly with proposals for reform as necessary. The Constitution provides for that committee to co-opt experts or enlist the aid of other persons of appropriate expertise, whether or not such experts or other persons are members of the Assembly. The GHRA argues that those constitutional provisions which are intended to guide the continuous process of constitutional reform have been ignored by the Ministry of Legal Affairs, the Parliament, and the Constitutional Commission. The chairman of the commission, in his interview with Stabroek News, proposed that the commission should be restructured for legal reasons, since the People's National Congress reform no longer makes up the main opposition and has been replaced by the We Invest in Nationhood Party as the majority parliamentary opposition party. The human rights body said the badly written law creating the Constitutional Reform Commission, specifically naming the PPP and PNC to occupy the 50% of the seats on the commission, no longer matter what motivated the former chancellor to raise the matter. The GHRA said the Win Party has changed the political calculus in ways that require both the ruling party and the PNC to obey the rules. And to a lesser extent, the same conclusion applies to the Forward Guyana movement, especially in matters related to regional politics, the human rights body said. A Cuban national was killed today when a wall collapsed on him at a construction site at Bachelor's Adventure on the east coast of Demerara. The dead man has been identified as Deribus Martinez, who was among 4 persons working at the site when disaster struck. News source understands that the property under construction was rented to Chinese nationals. However, it is owned by a Guyanese living abroad. Labour Minister Keoma Griffith visited the scene and told reporters that the Labour Ministry will be launching an investigation into the fatal incident.
Information received suggested that there was a fatality here at this construction site. From what we've been told, the eastern wall at this construction site collapsed inward, and from what we are told from the initial reports given to me by investigators, police officers, somebody was trapped under the concrete that fell inward and I believe that person is now deceased.
Griffith said the Labour Ministry is awaiting additional information from the police, even as it conducts its own investigation. He also announced that the Labour Ministry will be ramping up inspections to ensure that workplaces adhere to the labour laws of the country.
I intend to come into the fields, come onto work sites, and get an inspection done to see that all construction sites are complying with the health and safety, occupational health and safety requirements. So that is something that is central to my function, which I intend to execute. In the coming days, I intend to visit as much sites as I can as possible.
Griffith said departments have also been set up in every region to ensure that occupational health and safety inspections are done regularly.
We're celebrating the World Maritime Day 2025 in a big way. Exhibition style. An amazing sea of opportunities awaits you in the maritime sector. Come on down to the Providence National Stadium on Thursday, September 25th, 2025 and meet the movers and shakers in the maritime industry. Learn about ships, port operations, career and maritime training and opportunities, and interact with maritime professionals and industry leaders. This is for one day only, from 9 hours to 16 hours. Witness an amazing array of boats, maritime equipment, and more on vessels on display. Join us for the World Maritime Day exhibition, hosted by the Maritime Administration Department, Ministry of Public Utilities and Aviation. It's our ocean, our obligation, our opportunity. See you there, open to everyone.
Get ready, Guyana. It's CPL. It's carnival time. It's time for the biggest party of the year. On Saturday, September 27th, Kingston Beach comes alive with nothing but pure vibes as the Republic Bank, Pan, Brass, and Soca. A night of rhythm, energy, and pure vibes.
They should know.
Look out for Mixmaster Tony, Selector Andre, Kunjaz Steel Ensemble, Guyana Police Force Steel Orchestra, OKC, Omaya Hall, Carlvin Burnett, A.W. Lyrical, The Troy, The Pianist, Heatwave Band, Johan Chukari, Adam Hagley, and the Insomniacs Band. And straight out of Trinidad and Tobago, the one and only Young Brother. Pan, Brass, and Soca is supported by Republic Bank Limited, Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, Star Party Rentals, Discover Guyana, New GPC, DS Ramsey Hall & Sons Jewelry, German's Restaurant, and Beacon Cafe. Ticket prices of $5,000. VIP access is $20,000. Tickets available at the National Cultural Center box office. Don't forget, Pan, Brass, and Soca, September 27th at Kingston Beach.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Starbrook Market.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step. or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Now to that ongoing election fraud trial. Amid repeated objections from the defense, former presidential candidate of the Liberty and Justice Party, Lennox Schumann, today said he had repeatedly objected to a number of discrepancies during the tabulation of the votes cast in Region 4, as he took the stand and testified in the ongoing 2020 election fraud trial. 9 election officials and political leaders, including the former chief election officer and the former deputy chief election officer, are currently on trial accused of attempting to declare fraudulent results during the course of the 2020 elections. They have all denied the charges. Today, Mr. Schumann, who had led the Liberty and Justice Party into the 2020 elections, told the acting chief magistrate Faith McGusty that he witnessed an attempt to abort the use of statements of poll in exchange for a populated spreadsheet, adding that on a number of occasions the numbers called by the election officers in the tabulation room at the Ashmans building were inconsistent with the SOPs in his possession. But defense attorneys Nigel Hughes, UC Anderson, and Darren Wade sought to drill holes in Schumann's testimony after making several objections on the grounds that Schumann was either providing irrelevant information, not the authority to speak on issues like SOPs, or was unable to identify key individuals he sought to implicate in the election controversy. Schumann told the court that on the 3rd of March 2020, when he got to the Region 4 tabulation center, there was a commotion over an attempt to halt the tabulation of the SOPs. He recalled the Elections Commission counting agents, including a pregnant woman, had complained of being tired, and it was at that point that a suggestion was made for a spreadsheet to be used in place of the SOPs. Mr. Schumann told the court that he strongly objected and made his objection clear to the then chief election officer that the established process should be followed. The CEO, according to him, acquiesced, but the problem did not stop there. He said moments later, political agents in the room observed that the counting agents were making a number of mistakes, which included the numbers that were being tabulated by the counting agents not corresponding with their SOPs. Schumann told the court that it was then that a GECOM staffer, Enrique Leven, took over the process, but the errors only got worse. He said what Leven was calling out was not consistent with what was being displayed on the SOPs, and so they protested. He said Leven later aborted the process and left the tabulation room with GECOM's computer after party agents and observers protested against the inconsistencies that were observed in the numbers. He said Leven was confronted by agents of a number of political parties as to what he was doing with the computer. The police, he said, were then called in. Late in his testimony, Schumann testified about an alleged attempt by the then returning officer Clement Mingo to prematurely declare the regional results on the 5th of March. The trial is ongoing. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce Suzanne Rodriguez today said Guyanese must be given the opportunity to explore the beauty of their homeland, as she laid out her plans to inject new life into the local tourism industry. During a meeting today with hotel and resort operators at the Arthur Chung Conference Center, Minister Rodriguez said since her appointment recently, she has been bombarded with messages about affordability and the inability of Guyanese to explore Guyana.
Guyanese who live here, born and bred Guyanese, have not experienced the beauty of Guyana. And so our first customer base must be the people who live here, Guyanese. And quite often we don't think about them and we don't cater for them. And so that is another thing that we need to address. Some of the issues like affordability, we have to address that.
The tourism minister said she will be working with hoteliers, lodge and resort and tour operators to address the issue of costs going forward. Her plans for the tourism and hospitality industry target both local and foreigners alike and will see all the subsectors within the industry, which includes accommodation, attraction, food and beverage, along with transportation and travel agencies and tour operators collaborating to promote Destination Guyana as a brand.
I've already discussed with the Guyana Tourism Authority for us to establish a permanent presence at our ports of entry. We will be there and we will ensure that all of our visitors who are entering our country, that we provide them with as much information as possible on what we have to offer and tailor it to the type of visitor that is entering our country.
Minister Rodriguez underscored the need for enhanced collaboration within the industry.
It is also a way to increase your own occupancy because it gives you a competitive advantage if you can put together, if you can offer packages for people who are staying at your facility. It makes you more competitive. You're not just offering a room, you're offering an experience.
Guyana has been benefiting from an increase in visitor arrivals over the past few years. The tourism minister anticipates that by 2030, the country will receive more than 1 million tourists and visitors.
That the next 5 years will be one of collaboration, that we will be available to you, my office, the entire ministry, the Guyana Tourism Authority, will be available to you. We want your business to be successful, but we also want Guyanese, and our visitors to be able to experience Destination Guyana.
The minister intends to meet with other players in the tourism industry moving forward. Over the weekend, the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit announced the arrest of one person after its agents disrupted an attempt to load 146.9 pounds of cocaine onto an Amsterdam-bound KLM flight at the CJIA International Airport to Mary. The cocaine was found in 53 plastic-wrapped parcels, stashed at the bottom of a unit load device, which is used to load cargo and luggage onto an aircraft. Details of the suspect were not released, but Kanu said its agents acted on information received and carried out the operation at the CJIA Airport on Saturday as the KLM aircraft was being prepared for its departure. Last year, 3 staffers at the same airport were arrested and charged during an attempt to load a suitcase packed with cocaine onto a London-based British Airways flight. Kanu has been conducting a number of operations to curb drug trafficking with the assistance of local and international counterparts. A Heritage Month celebration in Anai ended tragically on Sunday morning when 21-year-old tour guide John Elliott was brutally stabbed to death during a confrontation with a 16-year-old boy and 2 other young men. The 16-year-old is the main suspect and has since been arrested, but has denied the allegations against him. 2 other suspects, a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old who are brothers, are still to be arrested, according to the police. The police statement explained that a member of the Guyana police force who was at the event witnessed the stabbing incident and identified the 16-year-old as the main suspect. The police statement said the 16-year-old was arrested at the home of the other 2 young men and taken into custody. However, during questioning in the presence of his mother, he denied stabbing John Elliott. He identified the 18-year-old who is still to be arrested as the one who stabbed Elliott. The police report indicated that the dead man sustained stab wounds to the left side of his chest and the lower right side of his chest. Investigations are ongoing tonight.
Get ready, Guyana! It's CPL! It's carnival time! It's time for the biggest party of the year. On Saturday, September 27th, Kingston Beach comes alive with nothing but pure vibes as the Republic Bank, Pan, Brass, and Soca. A night of rhythm, energy, and pure vibes.
They should know.
Look out for Mixmaster Tony, Selecta Andre, Kunjaz Steel Ensemble, Guyana Police Force Steel Orchestra, OKC, Omaya Hall, Carlvin Burnett, A.W. Lyrical, The Troy, The Pianist, Heatwave Band, Johan Chukuri, Adam Hagley, and the Insomniacs Band. And straight out of Trinidad and Tobago, the one and only Young Bretta. Hand Brass and Soca is supported by Republic Bank Limited, Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, Star Party Rentals, Discover Guyana, New GPC, DS Ramsey Hall and Sons Jewelry, German's Restaurant, and Beacon Cafe. Ticket prices of $5,000. VIP access is $20,000. Tickets available at the National Cultural Center box office. Don't forget, Pan, Brass, and Soca, September 27th at Kingston Beach.
Live the island dream. It's your chance to be one of over 100 winners in the Island Dream promotion. Win your share of more than $1 million in cash and prizes, plus 2 all-inclusive weekend staycations for 2. And that's not all. Score coolers packed with Buster, Turbo, Altitude, and Viva. Just buy any can or bottle of Turbo, Buster, Altitude, or Viva. Find the code starting with BB. Then visit at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean on IG or Facebook for details.
Live the island dream, get money. Live the island dream.
We're celebrating the World Maritime Day 2025 in a big way, exhibition style. An amazing sea of opportunities awaits you in the maritime sector. Come on down to the Providence National Stadium on Thursday, September 25th, 2025 and meet the movers and shakers in the maritime industry. Learn about ships, port operations, career and maritime training and opportunities, and interact with maritime professionals and industry leaders. This is for one day only, from 9 hours to 16 hours. Witness an amazing array of boats, maritime equipment, and more on vessels on display. Join us for the World Maritime Day exhibition, hosted by the Maritime Administration Department, Ministry of Public Utilities and Aviation. It's our ocean, our obligation, our opportunity. See you there, open to everyone.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. GHRA is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of GHRA's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. GHRA has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. Venezuelan Minister of Defense Vladimir Patrino Lopez announced Sunday that the Venezuelan military would be moving closer to Trinidad and Tobago to combat what he claimed are criminal acts occurring within territory close to the Gulf of Paria, the stretch of water that separates the two. Speaking about the Venezuelan military movement during a televised address to citizens on Sunday, Patrino, who previously warned the country of a potential Venezuelan response, named Trinidad and Tobago as a country from which a lot of smuggling and human trafficking occurs. He said under the instructions of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, the military would be moving to the Sucre state, which includes the Paria Peninsula. The closest point between the Sucre state and Trinidad's northern coast is approximately 8 miles. It was explained that 60 units will occupy the territory of the 15 municipalities of that state to scrutinize and clear the area. Tens of thousands of Brazilians took to the streets of major cities on Sunday to protest legislative efforts to shield former President Jair Bolsonaro and federal lawmakers from the courts, marking the country's strongest demonstrations in years. The protests, organized by social movements, unions, and political parties, denounced lawmakers trying to avoid legal consequences for themselves and Bolsonaro, who was sentenced to prison for a coup plot after his supporters stormed government buildings following his 2022 election defeat. It was the first major demonstration since Bolsonaro's conviction this month, with numbers rivaling recent right-wing protests against his sentencing in major cities. The Supreme Court's conviction of Bolsonaro and his co-conspirators in the government and armed forces marked the first time Brazil has punished military officers for attempting to overthrow democracy in a history stained by violent coups. Bolsonaro is under house arrest until he exhausts appeals of his 27-year prison sentence, but allies are already working to support him via political channels, ranging from legislative amnesty to a pardon from the next president. And finally tonight, international news. Russian President Vladimir Putin offered his U.S. counterpart Donald Trump a nuclear arms control deal on Monday that would extend the last treaty limiting both countries' nuclear weapons by 1 year, while Moscow and Washington discuss what comes next. Russia and the United States have by far the biggest nuclear arsenals in the world. The last remaining treaty between them that limits the numbers of these weapons is due to expire on February 5 next year. The New START treaty offers strategic nuclear weapons, those designed by each side to hit the enemy's centers of military, economic, and political power, and caps the number of deployed warheads at 1,550 on each side. Both are likely to breach that limit if the treaty is not extended or replaced. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.